I'm starting a live on YouTube, and I don't know if there will be so many people today. But yeah, I'm just starting that, trying YouTube as a streamer to make some live video about stone polishing, and we'll see where it goes. And so I'm gonna polish that knife. This is a simple classic from me, Kurushi raw iron and 133 steel. Okay, we are 9, so that's cool. Okay, nice to meet you all. Hi, hi, hi. So I'm trying YouTube video to see, because I don't know if you are aware of that or if you remember about that, but Instagram, they have forbidden me to make any more live video. So Instagram is not possible anymore. And I thought that, well, I liked to do some live video from time to time. So I want to make them more and more, well, if I can. I'm gonna try to see if I can see some people talking, like anyone on the video, if you can like write something on the chat, and I can see if I can see something. Just sorry, it's YouTube for me, it's just new, so if you can help me set things a little bit for the first time, and then we will be good to go. But anyway, we're gonna polish that knife today. Okay, thanks Fatima. Hi. So okay, so I can see the chat down there. So all set, and yeah, we're gonna polish a knife, and we're gonna do some live video about polishing knives again. Yeah, so Instagram was not allowing me to make some live video for now. It was since December, and I want to go back to it, and maybe YouTube is a good place, so I'm gonna start that. Okay, so let's talk about stone polishing. I wanted to start a series of video maybe about that. Maybe start if it was like the beginning, and of course I have now the experience, because when I've started some live video on Instagram, it was much more like, okay, I'm at the beginning of the journey. I'm learning how to polish knives and stones, and I'm gonna show you, well, yeah, bit by bit, how I learned that, how I can start to understand things, and what I can share to you, which is from my experience. Okay, and now I have more experience to it. It's more like 5 to 6 years. I'm now polishing on stones, mostly all my knives, almost. And I got some experience to show you, to tell you, and hope you're gonna enjoy that. And yeah, we're gonna start from the basic, like, okay, I'm a knife maker, and some of you are maybe users of kitchen knives, and you want to start grinding, redo the sharpening of your knife, but not only the edge, but really the bevels of the knife. And to me, as a knife maker, it's like more a choice. Like, I have decided to build my knives as kitchen knives with that sort of design, which is about a forge area which is left raw, and a polished bevel, and this part will be polished on stones to make it regular, even, with the good angles, with the nice convexity if I want to, and yeah, and then do a progression of grit of stones, so I can have a start at about 200 grit, and then go up and up and up to 5k, and then natural stones. So we're gonna see if today we can go until natural stones. I don't know, but for sure we're gonna see the first step, which is the most important, which is grinding the bevel and get to the final shape, meaning the shape that is even and good enough to make a progression with the next stones, with the finer stones, until we can reach the natural stones. All right, and does anyone hear me? It's okay? You hear me well? Can you say yes? Just to be sure I didn't, I don't know, deactivated the mic by error. So yeah, you hear me or what? Because I got a mic here, but not sure. Okay, you should hear me. Okay, so we're gonna start. And to start that, so my design is about raw part and then a wide bevel, which is quite low on my knives. And this is a way to think the knife, which will be a kitchen tool. Okay, James, perfect, thank you. And hello to Gigi Shane. It's really cool to see you back here. And yeah, so this design is really made about yeah, how to maintain your knife in the future with the stones. It's why we choose that sort of design. Well, it's one of the elements we choose that sort of design to make a knife, because we choose this design for different reasons. And if you want me to, I don't know, develop on that or develop on any subject I'm gonna talk to, please say, well, Milan, what do you think of? And I will try to answer, right? Okay, so I got that bevel, and that bevel was grind on the belt. Okay, I don't know if I can show you that perfectly. Okay, so this is 80 grit belt. Okay, and this 80 grit belt is not really even because the belt can't be really doing a perfect work and is very coarse scratches. So if I want to play with my natural stones, it will be just too coarse to do anything, to erase the previous scratches. Okay, so we're gonna first make the good shape and erase those very big scratches. And to do that, we're gonna use some stones. And as it's sort of an introduction, and we'll see if there is some question and if there is a way to answer to them. But as it's an introduction, I'm gonna show you a little bit the tools I'm using to do that purpose. And those are stones, and stones, more specifically diamond stones. So one of the first stone I would use is this stone. So it's a diamond stone, right? And this is made from Venev, and this is 80 grit. And I'm generally trying to work with that stone first because it's quite a cheap stone to use. So if I'm using that a lot, it doesn't cost me too much, because diamond stone are quite expensive, and those, yeah, are quite a good price for the thickness of diamond you get, right? And let's say there is a bit of distortion happening in the audio. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to buy a proper mic, but I've changed my phone, and those very smart industrial, they didn't put the, you know, the mic plug. They forget to put it again. Well, I guess they did it in purpose. So I need to buy a new mic, and I looked for Bluetooth mic because I want to be able to put a power charger on the phone while I'm streaming, because it's using a lot of battery, and using Bluetooth to set a microphone, and I couldn't find that. Why? I don't know, but I need to do some research why Bluetooth mic are not allowed on Earth. So I need to, yeah, I need to do some research. Sorry for the bad sound, and sure, I will try to improve that. Internet should be good. So yeah, I hope I will try to speak maybe more slowly, so even with some sound artifact, you can hear me properly. All right. Okay, so Venev stones. Venev stones are really good because they are, yeah, again, they are not too expensive to use, and they are very hard, and you can find them in quite very coarse grit. This one is 80 grit, and it's one of the coarsest diamond stone you can find on the market. 80 grit, yeah. So I'm using that for beginning. Then I'm gonna use also this one, which is NSK stones 200 grit, and I can see, for example, that you have a mirror image of me. Okay, so I need to work that out too. So this is written Oboro knife 200 grit, and these stones is a little bit more expensive to use. It's a little bit more expensive, but it got a little bit more engagement in the iron and in the steel. It's overall a little bit faster. So, and it's a little bit less precise. So because this is harder, it's more precise, and this is a little bit softer. It's faster, but a little bit less precise. And I'm gonna finish the shape of it with these stones because I'm using them a little bit more these days. This is Naniwa diamonds. So as you can see, it's always about a metal plate and some diamonds, which is glued to the metal plate, basically. And this is 400 grit, okay? So let's start. Let's see if I can show you some move. So first, because I got a belt finish give you some information because you can have a look at how the light will bend on the bevel, how you can see some scratches somewhere, and how you can see scratches that are going in a different direction somewhere on the bevel. And for example, I don't know if I can show you that properly, but the beginning of the bevel near the heel, it's a mess. It's really not well shaped, and there is scratches and light doing not good thing. Too much convexity at the shinogi, and yeah, and maybe not touching properly. Yes, here. So for sure, I'm going to expect there will be some problems in that area, and I need to, yeah, I need to find if it's not too much work or if I need to go back to belt. No, it should be okay to grind those on stones. And the rest of the bevel is pretty okay. Always some troubles on the tip, but it's okay. It's gonna be always some work there. And yeah, most of the bevel is all right, I would say. Not perfect, but all right. The heel is the most of the problem. So for a start, I'm gonna try to grind, to just use the stone and go through the whole knife and see what are the main problems, where there is some low spot and where there is some evenness. Okay, so this is the first, and as expected, there is or too much convexity on the heel, or there is yeah, overgrind at the shinogi at the heel, which will be okay, but quite a lot of work to solve. Okay, so I don't know if you see that properly, but okay, I'm gonna try to find the right angle. Okay, it's there. So my diamond stones is this area, which is a little bit darker, all right? And the lighter area are the 80 grit scratches that are not touched by the stone at 80 grit, okay? It's just a pass, so it's nothing enough to really erase everything, but it's gonna show you me where the stone touch, okay? And I can see then it's not great, but not horrible. Okay, can you do the focus? Yes, it can. All right, so let's go on. Let's go on. We're gonna do one more pass to see if it's really a problem here. So I'm just putting the knife on the stone. There will be an angle of about, this is 90 degrees, so it's close to 45 degrees, okay? The situation of the blade from the stone, and I'm putting my two fingers on the bevel, and this is how it is set. It's where the bevel want to touch first the stone, because I can always force the knife with my right hand to push a little bit toward the shinogi. Shinogi, sorry for the beginners, shinogi is the line which is separating the bevel to the kurushi. Kurushi is the black finish here. All right. Okay, cool. It's 16 people there. So everybody, hello, and I'm back. And yeah, hope we can have a good time together. We're gonna, yeah, of course, speak about stone and stone polishing. So yeah, please ask question, say hello, and let's have a good time together. So okay, I'm just keep on moving. So I put my finger on my with my left with my hand, and I just put the bevel on the stone, and with my right hand I'm gonna grab the knife with a strong hand like this, but not pushing toward the edge or pushing toward the shinogi or pushing toward the heel or pushing toward the tip, but just trying to let the bevel touch the stone where it wants to touch. And we got a second question. I think you mean the angle of approach is 45 degrees. Yes, 45 degrees, sorry. 45 degrees compared to the stone, it's a 0 or something like that. It's in front of me, just straight parallel from me, and the blade, sorry, up, up, up. It's not 90 degrees, it's 45, okay? It's about like that. And for more, to be more accurate, it's a bit like that, okay? And I'm gonna shape it like that. We're gonna try to find, when I will be a famous YouTuber, we're gonna find a way to have 5 camera around me and make some zoom and de-zoom, but for now it's only one. Okay. And so yeah, I'm putting my finger just on the bevel where it want to touch, and I'm gonna just push, okay, and light pressure on going back, okay, and push, and like this, okay. And I don't need to make a lot of work. It's just about shaking. The more I put pressure, the more I force the knife to touch the stone. So I don't really want that. I want the knife to touch the stone about naturally, and from there see natural error or natural unevenness on the bevel. Okay, and I got a pretty good lecture. Okay, and the lecture, it's always great to have a lecture of the knife you are polishing. Stone polishing is about having a place, a bevel, a surface which is evolving a little bit, because the heel will be a little bit thicker, the tip will be thinner. So you need to change your angles through the length of the knife. And doing so, your work is about, yeah, reading the knife, see where there is more materials and where there is not enough material to touch the stone, and where you have too much, you need to grind that additional material, which is too much, and you need to grind it so you can reach where there is not enough. And every time you have scratches that you can't erase, you can't touch, it means it's low. It's low, or it's on another dimension. How to say that more accurately? It's on another level, meaning that, for example, this it's kind of low spot, the fact that I don't touch the shinogi properly, but it's also a kind of convexity or another surface angle that I have reached doing the belt work. So I have convexed a little bit some surface near the shinogi, and to touch this I need to grind all around the shinogi, so I can go a little bit reaching the level of this area which is down. Okay, understand? Okay, let me show you the knife. Okay, so again, the darkest area on my bevel is the stone, the diamond stone. So you can see all that is low and it needs to touch, so I need to grind. And if I want to make it touch, I can't really just grind down there in order that it will touch here, because if it doesn't touch, you need to think about the complete knife. It's also about the material which is here, and when I'm working here, it's not touching here, and this is because this is a little bit too high, and I need to grind that high point so it can touch this part. Okay, let's see other part of the knife. Let's find an angle. Okay, and one thing I can see is that there is quite a lot of scratches up there too, so must be a low spot up there too. Okay, let's show you that all. Okay, and so you need to read that properly. I'm gonna try to find ways to show you as much as possible. Okay, and those 80 grit scratches that are not touched by the stone, this is also a low spot. So all those area which are not perfectly touched by the stone through when you just use the stone just to check, and when they are at the shinogi, it means that you will most likely need to raise your shinogi all around so it can touch again. Okay, let's do area by area, and let's work this heel so it's touching. And in a way, I say we didn't need to touch this, but in a way, yes, we will need to get this surface a little bit down too, so it will touch here too. But most often, in my experience, when I can see there is a low spot or a spot I don't touch at the shinogi, it means that I will need to grind after it at the shinogi too. And when there is a low spot at the edge, where there is some scratches I can't touch with the stone at the edge, it means that I don't need, well, most likely it's not about the surface area which is just above it, it's more about the area which is after and before it. Okay, so let's do the heel first and try to make it clean. So I'm gonna work again 45 degrees and try to see how it will behave, just grinding at the heel a little bit more and a little bit after. And I'm trying to work towards shinogi, meaning that I let the stone do a little bit his work, natural work, like natural situation, but I'm still a little bit pushing a little bit with my finger toward the shinogi. So yeah, I'm giving a direction too. And the right hand is stabilization. And you can see that my hands, it's a triangle, and this is very stable. And you need this stability to work. You can't be like too far from your blade with your right hand. You need to grab it a little bit more accurately, holding well, but not forcing too much. Okay. Okay, and it's going quite fast. First, because the problem was not maybe crazy bad, and second, because this stone is 80 grit, so it's grinding quite fast. Okay, so you can see that I still have a problem here, but it's mostly okay here. Okay, and if I'm trying to find some angle where you can see the issues, Let's see if I can find that. Okay, next issue will be this, where you have some scratches, but it's a little bit for later. It's not for now. Let's work the heel so I can erase this little thing. And we are now 33, so nice. And hello to the people who just come. I guess you are from Instagram, and cool, you're there. So just to remember you, Instagram, they forbidden me to make some live video because they are so cool. And YouTube, I'm not forbidden there, so I'm there. And I'm gonna make some live video if possible from time to time. It will be mostly about stone polishing because when I'm working on the stones, it's more easy to talk with you. While when I'm forging, I got the ears plugs, the glasses, sometimes the mask, and well, yes, it's a little bit less possible to share the forging process with you. But the stone polishing, it's a quiet time, and it's more easy for me to have some discussion with you and to show you things. And in a way, forging for you, it's interesting to understand what I'm doing, but with the stones, everything I show you, it's something that you can do at home, actually, with your stones, with your knives, and maybe you can improve the performance and improve the maintenance of your knife with my little advice and with the way I'm working. So let's do that. And yeah, we are polishing that knife. We are 80 grit with the Venev, which is one of the stone I use the most to really start shaping a knife, shaping the bevels of a knife. And we're gonna use then NSK and Naniwa. We're gonna talk about all that. So let's go on the heel, okay, and let's let the stone work. I'm gonna work towards shinogi a little bit. So one of the things I have learned so far, the last months, years, is that I was working a little bit too fast, moving too fast. And actually, if you work in section and you let, you work more slowly and try to solve problems one after another, it's actually faster than just going for the whole knife all the time and never solving anything properly. So, and all my gesture also was a little bit fast, like, and actually you can have a lot of micro movements doing those fast gesture, which are not that great. And instead, if you use more slow movement and try to be more stable, accurate, feeling what you hear and see and feel under your fingers about how the blade touch, and sometimes, you know, only doing one push and stop, you learn a lot more than just speeding everything. And we have Itamar. Hi Milan, at the moment you are making the bevel flat, and later the progression you will make it convex. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people are asking like, how much do you put convexity on your bevel? Are you working flat? Are you working flat first and then doing some convexity, etc., etc.? Okay, everything will be revealed to you today. It's quite easy. It's quite easy. There is different answer, and you're gonna understand what I mean. Okay, a blade, as you remember, is thicker at the heel, thinner at the tip. And for that, I need to find some trick. Because we are working with flat stones, hard stones, and we want to make a nice surface which will be able to be polished with the finest stones in the end. We need to find some tricks so the stone touch. And the stone need to touch, for my point of view, lengthwise, because I want to finish the knife with almost lengthwise scratches, longitudinal scratches, because I think it's more beautiful. You can have a better looking knife, even if your work is not that great. With longitudinal scratches, it will look a little bit better than with 45 degrees scratches, which will catch the eyes. Instead of longitudinal, you will more look at the iron, at the steel, and less at the scratches. That's why I'm doing that. It's aesthetic, mostly, because you could have a nice polish surface with perpendicular scratches. And sometimes I really like what I see when I do perpendicular scratches. The polishing is good, but it's true that the scratches are just more visible to the eyes. They catch a little bit more. That's it. But the surface is still good. Okay. So the trick is that because we have this difference of surface, normally theory or practically, we need to make some angle which is a little bit thicker at the heel and going to the tip a little bit thinner. Just because we want the shinogi to have about the same width all the time. We don't want this to be very high and this to be very narrow. Because even if we forge the knife to a geometry, actually we want the grind to follow this geometry, not to make just a flat angle, not thinking of this geometry. For example, because we have forged something a little bit more convex and a little bit more thick at the heel, we want the bevel to be a little bit thicker, and to have a thicker angle, and going to the tip, and the tip will be thinner, forged thinner, maybe flatter. We want also a bevel which will be thinner, flatter in this area. Okay, and while we are doing this work of surface, we have to deal with one big issue, is that the bevel road, the bevel direction, it's doing a twist. Because we are working with thick angle at the heel, and then we are working with a finer angle at the tip, it's doing a little bit this. And this is a little bit of a twist, okay? It's necessary, it's geometrically correct. We need to deal with a twist. And a twist, one of the biggest issue with a twist is that first it's changing a movement in the surface, so we need to compensate with the finger and feel about it. And second, we got a hollow. It is necessary that if you have a very steep angle, flat surface here, and everything is flat, and you are doing this gesture to going to the tip, you will have a hollow surface lengthwise. And this is a problem because you want to polish lengthwise. And if you do that, you will have the stone not touching the blade, and you have a problem geometrically. Okay, and to solve this, there is different solution, but main solution is convexity, and that's why we are polishing knives convex mostly. Well, that's why I do convex bevels mostly. It's because I want to solve this geometry problem, and the fact that convexity is giving a certain way of cutting for my knife is additional benefit, but I do it first because I want to solve this geometrical problem. It's always interesting. Okay, and with convexity, you add material. That's it. Because if you work very flat and you have this twist and you have the hollow, if you work with the convexity, okay, you have more material, and then even if you work out and I have more convexity at the heel and less convexity going to the tip, well, that's good. Okay, Flo the Pro, nice to see you, and glad you like YouTube. Well, I don't know if I like it more, but I can see that there is still a lot of people. 26 is really good. Very thank you guys to be here. And yeah, it's just, I mean, Instagram forbidden me to make some live, so go YouTube. Okay, so go back. Okay, are you still here about the explanation, and do you follow? If not, you say, Milan, I don't understand because you don't explain anything right, and I will try to explain a little bit better. So we have a convexity, and we are going to a flatter surface with a flatter angle here. So we have more meat here, and then we are going to a flat surface. And oh, we can see that we will not have this problem of hollow lengthwise because we just have more meat. Yes, that's why we do convexity at the heel. So if you actually look at my knife, and I will try to show you that, because there is sometimes a situation when you're polishing where you can see really this happening, this sort of two surface, one which will be flatter toward the shinogi and one which will be more convex going to the edge. And then I will blend it to make a nice, clean, full convex surface in a way. So let's explain that more precisely. I will have then, I want some flatness. I want some flatness everywhere too, because I want to have a nice separation between bevel and shinogi, which is beautiful. And if you want to work with a full convexity from shinogi to tip, shinogi to edge, okay? If you want that, it will be very difficult to have a clean shinogi. I guess it's possible because there is always great polisher. We have a lot of patience to do that, but it's not the best method. If you do a full convexity of the bevel, it will be very difficult to have a crisp shinogi. So you want some flatness just at the limit of the shinogi. And in a way, it will look like a triangle. So you will have a lot of flatness toward the tip. The surface of the tip will be almost all one flat surface. And going to the heel, this flat surface will go upper and upper and upper and upper up to the shinogi, where at the heel, it depends the knife, but most often I have about half of the bevel, which is beginning of my convexity, and half of the bevel, which is flatness. And in the middle, it will be like 1/3 flat and 1/3 convexity. And at the tip, it will be like 98% flat and 2% of convexity, just to make it nice and strong and have a little bit of convexity. If you work just flat, in my experience too, flat is too close to hollow, and hollow your stone is not touching. So if you always are very, very, very flat, you need perfect stone flat, and you need to do no mistake, because if you do one mistake on this flat, like one big scratches in the middle of a one flat surface, it means that you're gonna push a little bit more to erase that scratches, and then you're gonna make a hollow. So you're fucked. So you don't want that. You want a little bit of convexity, a little bit everywhere. Even at the place where you have almost flat, you want a little bit of convexity, because flat is already hollow. And we have another question, maybe. If you happen to have a tips to keep a clean shinogi, raise trigger on this. Okay, clean shinogi. So you understood now why I'm putting some convexity, and then what I will do is, yeah, what I just said, shaping the bevel with the image I have that I want it to be, okay? Because I know what the shape should be. I'm just doing it. If you are a beginner, you need to struggle. You need to do the thing, try to do your best, and fail. And you will, maybe with my video, understand your failures or your problem or your issue. Maybe you will see that, and hopefully you will solve that and understand more and more with the time how your bevel should be shaped, why you should have a little bit of convexity at the heel, why you should have a little bit more flatness at the tip. So yeah, I'm gonna grind that, and almost I'm working with two areas, which will be one toward the shinogi, which will be my flat surface, and one toward the edge, which will be my convex surface. And then I will blend almost everything at almost every grit, but let's say at 200 or 400 grit, maybe not the first shape, but at 400 grit, let's say, I will blend it so it's not visible that there is two surfaces, but one convex surface, which is finishing with a flat surface at the shinogi. Okay. So Loic is asking how to make a clean shinogi, and clean shinogi, I mean, it's a struggle every time on every blade for me. So it's not gonna be easy to give you all the advice, the best advice, so you don't fall in problems. But first, you want to have a flat surface when you reach the shinogi. You don't want convexity there. Maybe when you will be a master of polishing, and maybe if you learn with a master polishing who is doing full convex, you will be able to learn how to do a clean shinogi with full convex bevel. But let's try nicely and gently, and let's work with my method, which is for people who are not good enough. You make a little flat surface toward the shinogi, and the more you are at the tip, it will be a little bit wider. It will be wider surface, and at the heel it will be a little bit less wide, more narrow. So you want flatness at the surface toward shinogi, and you're gonna work, for example, to make flat. One of the best way to make flat is almost perpendicular. So if you are not stable enough and you are beginner, don't work perpendicular, because perpendicular you will push and roll, and if you roll over the shinogi, you're really fucked. So you don't want that. You need to be stable and approach shinogi, grind material under shinogi until you reach it and not rolling on it. All right. So you need to work a little bit more perpendicular, but still a little bit diagonal, so you have some stability. Diagonal is maybe 45 degrees, or diagonal is maybe the most stable way to grind. Perpendicular, you can always roll on the shinogi, you can go over, and longitudinal too, actually, because you're working on the surface and you can easily roll this way on the shinogi. So diagonal is maybe the best way. And you're gonna work mostly pushing, slowly. You see, I stop and I change where my fingers are. And this way I can work a flat surface, and if I see there is a low spot here, that just means that I need to work around here and here. Okay, so I got a problem here. I'm gonna work before and after. Let's go. Perpendicular, but still a little bit diagonal, and let's go. And it's better, but I still have a low spot right here, okay? And I can keep on. And it's true that, Itamar, he said, okay, but are you flattening first and then doing some convexity? In a way, yes, because because I'm working diagonal like that toward the shinogi, in a way, yes, I'm creating a flatter and flatter surface. And if I don't have enough material to create the convexity, yes, at the end, the bevels will be almost very flat. So I always need to be careful about that and keep some material at the heel. Always keep a little bit more material than you would normally keep. You will keep a little bit more, so you can still create some convexity at the end and not being in a problem when you will be polishing longitudinal. Okay, let's continue. And I'm a bit working toward the shinogi, like I want the bevel to touch shinogi and to be against it. Because I want to work up there. I don't want to work the edge too much. And here we have a nice problematic shape I can show you. Okay. Okay, let me find the angle. Okay, it's not easy to find the perfect angle to show you that. Okay, it's not there. Sorry, with the light it's always difficult to show. Okay, maybe this is a little bit better. I want to show you, I don't know if you see that, but my edge here, it's not because it's steel, it's because it's a different surface. This is lighter color because it's a different surface than this one, which is darker color, okay? And this area is a little bit wider than this area toward the heel, which is a little bit narrower. This should be larger. This should be go up to the middle of the bevel, also almost. So this means this is a little bit overgrind, and here I have a little bit too much material, which is great. I have too much material. It's great. I don't have not enough. I have too much. Perfect. I'm gonna grind a little bit here, and then I will touch this low spot and it will be even. Right? Okay. Let's keep moving. So I have solved this problem. It's true that I'm solving problems toward the shinogi now. We're gonna go to the edge just a little bit later. Okay, I still have low spot around here at the shinogi, and I'm gonna work on the tip now. And the flatter the surface, the more you will feel your stone is slow, because the flatter you have more material against the stone, and it will feel like, wow, I got a lot to grind, and it will be slower. The more convexity you have, the more if you push on the stone, you will feel, wow, this stone is so fast. Well, it's because it's touching a little bit of a surface, not a big one. And we got more question. You say to diagonal position for removal steel at the shinogi, but at a later step for removing scratches and polishing, you are still working shinogi longitudinal. Not sure I understand your question, but do I change scratch direction? Yes, and we're gonna do that. First, already, I checked at the beginning at 45 degrees, and just now I have worked that low spot here with a more perpendicular movement and scratches. So already I'm moving, I'm changing my direction of scratches, and it's not like the same as at the beginning. I need to solve this low spot, and to solve this low spot, which is quite wide, I mean, it's about all this toward the shinogi is about a little bit low, and I can see 80 scratches from there. This we need to work a little bit wider area, and if I work this area perpendicular, one of the problems with perpendicular working is that you can go up, down, up, down, up, down without thinking about it, because you are on the stone, which is a little bit narrow, and you're gonna work like that, and you don't feel that you are doing this. Only working longitudinal, you can feel that it's touching only here and not here. And so you need to change scratch direction at shinogi, at the edge, on all level, so you can check how the surface is, how is it looking, how is it touching the stone in every direction. And to me, because my final work will be longitudinal, I want especially this longitudinal to be very clean and perfect, because this will be the way, the direction I will use with the finest stone. And if I work and it's very important to understand that the way you work, the direction you work, will create a surface. This unique surface, if you make your bevel perfect, 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 touching everywhere, perpendicular scratches, all right? If you do that, you can be sure that if you go diagonal, you will already meet some issue, you will meet some problem like, what the fuck, the stone is not touching anymore. I'm just changing a little bit my direction and it's not touching. Why the hell? it's it's just because every scratch direction creates one specific unique surface, which will be not the right surface for the other direction. And in a way, making a knife that can be polished with every direction, which I kind of try to do, it's big work and is almost useless because you don't want really that. You want just to be even, so the blade wears and will be maintained evenly through the years you will be using your knife. So you want evenness, you want thinness, you want to be able to cut properly at home, cutting your vegetable and your meat nicely. And you want last thing will be, and you want aesthetic. You want, if you are a stone polisher like me and want to use some Japanese natural stone, you want a clean, even surface, not too much trouble in the surface, so you can use your stone and have some pleasure using the stone. Right, we do that. That's what we do. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Okay. Did I answer all the surface? Okay, so Flo is asking, I thought if I finish longitudinal, I'm on the safe side. I don't understand that sentence. Safe side, can you elaborate? If I only work longitudinal on the rough stone as well, so I don't introduce any other surface. Oh, I get it. I get your question. So the question is simple. We want to finish our knife longitudinally because the scratches will be parallel to the edge and it will look beautiful. Okay, so why the hell are we working perpendicular or diagonal and not just longitudinal, everything longitudinal, and stop fuck everything, and we don't need to work other direction which are not good and which are introducing problem? Very good question. uh, and the answer is that if you work longitudinally, you're gonna introduce some issues and some unevenness that you could have solved if you work temporary on other direction, like clean shinogi, clean sharp shinogi. If you want to have clean sharp shinogi and you work only longitudinal, you will not get it. You will roll with the coarse stones. You will roll over the shinogi, and you will most likely have a shinogi which is not sharp like here, but having scratches a bit everywhere around. So you can't, for example, for this problem there, you can't really work only longitudinal. And same for nice convexity at the edge and nice shape overall. With the longitudinal scratch, you can't really shape the knife precisely the way you want and have the convexity where you want it to start on the bevel. And this is really well to use diagonal and perpendicular to be sure of that. So if you don't care about shinogi, because the second thing about the convexity is like maybe secondary, but if you don't care about sharp shinogi, yes, you could just run your knife full longitudinal. But there is a third thing, which is why we don't do that, is that if you work longitudinal, you are putting a lot of material on the stone. You have a lot of surface on the stone, because longitudinal is where you have most of the knife on the stones. So the stone will behave slower. It's just like that. It will have more material to grind. So if you have, for example, too much material on one area, it will be faster to go perpendicular to grind it instead of keeping flat longitudinal and try to erase it. In time, you will be faster to go perpendicular for a short time. Okay? Hope everything is clear now. Let's go on. Okay, so for example, I have worked about diagonal here, and I have this low spot here. I'm gonna work a little bit like almost longitudinal, just to see what's happening. Okay, and this is good information for me, and I can see that where there is this low spot. Okay, let me find. Okay, you see that little diagonal, dark line diagonal, and this is a step between two surfaces. It's a step between one angle and one angle which is a little bit flatter on the bevel. And this area, yes, it's a little bit low and it's not touching properly, but it's okay, because if I have this diagonal at that area exactly, it means it's a ridge between two surfaces. So it's like that. It's a ridge between two surfaces. And it's not looking like that, but it's looking diagonal. Why? It's looking like that because this is flatter and this is more. Okay, there is more angle. So let me find a way to explain that more. Okay, this is like that, and the next one, okay, is flatter. It's difficult to show. Okay, this is okay. This hand is flatter, and this one is thicker. And if I put them here, the ridge which is linking those two surfaces, so this one is flatter, this one is more thicker angle. Sorry, I don't know how to say that in English. Thicker and thinner angles. Yeah, all right. If you understand, it's most important. And this ridge between them, it's not gonna be straight perpendicular. It's gonna be diagonal. So if you have a diagonal ridge, it means that one surface is thicker and one surface is thinner. All right. Lot to say. No, not enough time. I learned this for many years, and even if I tell you everything in 2 hours right now, you will be in a mess anyway, because you need to experience. You need to make a lot of issue and problems. And still today, do I make all the best decision in the shortest time? No. I try to, but it's difficult. So I have some material here. It's not too much a problem, okay? But still, I need to solve that. I need to solve that little low spot. So I need to grind a little bit after it. So let's go. And I'm working almost perpendicular. So because when I work perpendicular, I just have more power. So I have more speed. And because also I'm working perpendicular and I'm changing direction, I got view. I can see. If you work longitudinal the whole way, you don't see that you erase scratches. So you don't see that you are touching on some area and you're not touching on others. That's why we are also crossing. We are changing direction because we want to have the view of what we are doing. Simple, easy, classic. Okay, so this is not too bad. Let's continue. Okay. And for now, for example, I'm trying to make a nice clean tip in the perpendicular direction scratches, and this will help me to have nice shinogi and to also grind some material. So I will be cleaning the tip, erasing the low spot which is before the tip at the same time. What I show you in my live video is the way I polish, and it's a certain way of polishing. You don't need to work this way. Really, you don't need to. I do it because I think it's the best way. I do it because I think it's the way I should grind my bevels. But if you think that is troublesome, you don't have time for that, it's not worth it, or anything like that, just don't do it. Do your way. Do your own way. And if you can use your Nakayama, like your finest Japanese natural stone, with a method which is like super more easy and super more simple, super more effective, well, please give me a call and learn to me, teach me. I will be really, really interested. Yeah, really, really interested. Okay, so I keep on working. And this way, with the perpendicular scratches movement, I can feel that I'm touching shinogi, and I can feel when I'm touching kurushi evenly, because kurushi will make a different sound. It will make a more grainy sound, and so I can feel if I'm touching it and starting to grind kurushi, or if I'm just grinding iron on my bevel. I try to apply not too much pressure. Okay, another question from Flo. Flo the pro. Must be a pro. If I have a knife not made by you, that was not made with stone polishing in mind, that doesn't have convexity on two axes, what can I do? Introduce convexity by removing height? Yes, good question. Good question too. Perfect. Thanks for the question. It's complex question, but it's good. Okay, so you have a knife which is completely not ready for that. But let's say it's still a wide bevel, that like there is one surface here and there is a second surface which is the bevel. Because if you have a full polish and you want to work on stones, you need to or grind a flat surface and then create a new bevel on it, or you need to full polish stone. It's a different topic. Let's not talk about that. But let's say you have a kurushi knife with a wide bevel, and it's not done on stone, it's just done on a belt, and that's it. And it's even not done in the purpose of putting that on the stone, so it's on the belt and it's or in on the big wheel, and so it's concave and it's all mess grind. It's super sharp because it's super thin, but it's not even. And you want to make a nice stone polish, and you want to finish with my metal and use your finest stone. Okay, yes, at some point I think you will have to grind a little bit of material, and you will have to grind a little bit of some height of the knife. With the stones, it's a slow work, so normally you should be able to do that slowly and not grind too much. But yes, in some way, I think you will have to grind a little bit of the height of the knife to create a little bit more material, and so you will have convexity, possibility for convexity. But another way would be like, okay, this knife was not meant to be like that, and I'm making some compromise, and as it's a hollow grind, it's almost very far, it's so far from convexity that I will just flatten it. So you can just from the concavity, you just flatten the knife. Maybe you won't be able to finish it with the longitudinal strokes, not perfectly, or you will use convex stones. That's a trick also. Yeah, flat is not necessary. The stones, flat stone is not necessity. You can use convex stone, and convex stone, because they are convex, they can touch concave, flat, and convex. Or you just work a flat grind, and you will be maybe only able to polish it with diagonal strokes, not longitudinal, because it will be too much trouble. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it. It's my advice, it's not the truth. I'm not sure I'm saying the truth every time. I'm trying to answer, right? Okay, so we're gonna get to a point where the Venev is not grinding with the power I like it to. And these stones, it's very hard, so it stay flat for a long time, but it's also clogging or not cutting anymore at some point, and you need to condition the stone. And diamond stones, if you are beginner, it's not easy to use them because they need conditioning. So yeah, you need to learn that, and I'm gonna try to learn that too. Maybe not in this video, but maybe in the next one. Yeah, teaser. I'm gonna let you grab and stay online with me forever. Okay, let's work a little bit before to see what's happening. So same perpendicular. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. Let's do a little bit more, and I'm showing you. Okay, perfect. Sarah Alamanu, what you just wrote, it's not possible for me to read it. You need to write in a different language with a different alphabet. And we got another question. Inigo Tucker say, have you tried super coarse vitrified stone in the range of 120 320 grit? No, I didn't, and I'm not sure it's existing. And if it does exist, where can I get it? I'm okay to try them, but generally problem with vitrified stones, it's yes, they start at 400 mostly. I don't know if there is 120 320 grits. Yeah, not too much aware of that. And second, it's really expensive. Like NSK stone, it's 280 euros. Okay, next close to 300 euros for one stone, and vitrified, and it's very expensive. And I think it's very expensive. And vitrified stones are 500 euros generally. So this is very expensive too, even more. So yeah, I mean, maybe they are the best. I hope they are the best, but it's difficult to find them. And if a stone is not available or very difficult to find, it's difficult. For me, a stone needs to be very good, but it needs to be also possible to find it. If you can't find it, it's too difficult. So Inigo Tucker, if you have a vitrified diamond stone in the range of 120 320 grit, and it's awesome, please can you can I borrow it to you just a few days so I can try it? And if it's magnificent, I will buy one. Okay, so Inigo Tucker, you're gonna make some diamond stones, vitrified. Well, make one and let me test that. Yeah, I want to test one. I mean, if it's great, if it's low wearing, but very good cutting and clean cutting, that's all I'm looking for. So if you make one and it's great, let me taste it. And if it's costing a fortune but still doing incredible job, I might buy it. I might be a customer. Okay. So let me show you. Right, we have this clear color, more light color. This is the low spot. We can see that before it's okay, and the facet is ending with that diagonal this direction. This is perfect. This is the shape you want. But when I worked perpendicular, actually it stopped this way. So stopping this way, well, it just means that it's not touching this, which means that it's higher point than this. So this is still my low spot. So I should grind a little bit more this, so it will end touching this and will follow this next facet. So we will have this facet ending and then these facets. Okay, that's what we want. And to do that, because I've just checked perpendicular, I can change direction again and go maybe diagonal to grind with stability this place until it touch the low spot. Okay, not bad. It's gonna touch. Okay. And now, see how beautiful it is. Okay, we got it. We got this surface, which is darker, and then we got this next one, lighter, and it's touching and no more low spot. To be very, very honest, there is still a little thing, but we can maybe wait for the next stone to make it perfect. So it's always tricky. If it's big, maybe you should work with this stone and finish it. If it's just very tiny, you can use a next stone to do it. Okay, let's work this way. Okay, so everything is worked quite nice. Shinogi is sharp, and you can see the light is touching the bevel quite nicely. My surface on the sides look clean, but they are not that clean. If you would put a stone on it, and like if I'm starting to polish that black surface with the stone, you can see there is a lot of problem, a lot of issue. But I do my best, so it's relatively even, and I do my best at first forging it. Yeah, quite even, and straightening the blade as much as I can to make it also even, so my shinogi is not too much wobbly and everything is quite clean. But if you look at the geometry of my black surface with a ruler, with a rectified ruler, you will see that at the heel I'm a little bit concave from spine to edge. I'm a little bit concave, then I'm a little bit flat, and at the tip actually I'm a little bit convex. So it's changing. And why that? It's because my knives are made with a quite big taper. I don't know if you can see that, okay? And this means that I'm about 4 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter at the heel. And in order to have a shinogi which is not too thick, I forged concave. And then here it will be almost flat because I will have almost same thickness here as here, maybe. Yeah, not really. No, not really, but flatter surface. And then here it will be convex, just because the way I forge, yeah, I'm a little bit more convex at the tip. It's the way I forge. And longitudinally, at the shinogi, I will try to have it a little bit convex. At shinogi, it will be slightly convex, like a ruler will a little bit touch like this. But at the spine, it will be concave. So it's quite a complex surface, my black surface. It looks even and clean. That's because I'm working to make it looks nice, even and clean. But it's not flat. It's not flat at all. Okay. Okay, so I told you that I had a sort of low spot or a wider area here than here. So I need to grind some material at the heel toward the edge so I get everything even. Let's do that. And for doing that, I'm generally working longitudinal or almost longitudinal. So in a way, I'm cutting the knife. I'm cutting the knife toward the edge and creating convexity toward the edge at the heel. And it's going, normally it's gonna go quite fast because there is some material at the heel, so it's touching properly, easily. Okay, so I'm sure of it. I got a little low spot just after the heel, just here. So I need to grind there to make it touch. And no more question. Let's keep on moving. Okay. And I can also control the thickness at the heel this way, because I know about how I'm lifting the blade or not. So in a way, if I'm lifting really much, like, I don't know if you see that, but I'm lifting, then I will create more convexity, but I will also make a thicker blade at the edge, toward the edge, or above the edge. And if I want not that, but still grinding until it touch, I will thin above the edge and make the blade be a little bit more nice cutter. But I still want some kind of convexity up there. So it's thin behind the edge, but there's still some convexity. So when you cut, it's pushing a little bit the food and not sticking too much. Because actually this area, the heel area, is a place where you want some convexity, strength, and non-sticking place for food. And Keith John is asking what you're teaching today. And today I'm almost back to the basics because it's my first YouTube live. Welcome. Thanks for coming. And this live is about like shaping your knife on the stones, explaining the stones, explaining what I'm doing, why I'm changing direction, what is my aim, what I'm looking at. And so you can learn and make nice work or good work on the stones with your own knives then. Okay, and Inigotaker ask if Instagram give me too much trouble, and yes, Instagram is the place where there is the most people following me. So it would be difficult to quit Instagram for me because I got about 6,000 people who can see my work each time I'm publishing something. There is a potential of 6,000 people looking at what I do, and this is great for me. I want to live from my work and have a living and yeah, pay the bills and pay my living, but I also want to share my work just for the beauty of sharing stuff, sharing the way I see knives, and share with others which will see the knives a different way. And Instagram is a great place for that, and there is great people who can share with me about this topic. So Instagram is great for that, but it's almost great because of the people who are there. But for 2 years, Instagram is giving a lot of troubles to knife makers, a lot. And so apart from our followers, so I got 6K. Apart from those 6K, almost nobody can find my work, and nobody will get a picture of my work like that just by random search or random looking at this Instagram. It will never happen. And if you try to tape my name on the search thing on Instagram, you will need to write Milan Gravier Coutelier, full letters, every letters properly. If not, you will not find me. So I'm shadowbound. I don't know how you say that, but I'm like hidden from Instagram a bit. Still able to publish and be seen by my followers, but all the rest is not great. And they have, in December, they even deleted a lot of my posts, maybe 10 of them. For now, they stopped. They don't delete posts anymore, it seems. It's okay, cool. And but I'm still forbidden to do some live video. They cancel this option for me. I can't do live video on Instagram, so that's why I'm starting on YouTube. and I hope it will be nice, and maybe it will be better, and maybe there will be even more people, and we're gonna yeah, do better than Instagram. Hello, Anatoly. Nice to see you here. Can you talk about water management and how it affects the knife finish? The knife finish. Okay, so there is water management when you are using the cold stones, and in a way, every time you have a little bit less water and a little bit more slurry or mud on your stone, the stone will uh, abrase a little bit more, and the stone will also dish a little bit more. Everything will be abrased by the mud between the stone and the knife, and yeah, it will work a little bit more fast, everything, but it will be also less clean, a little bit more less consistent scratches, a little bit hiding also stuff, like it can make a mist or a kasumi, and then it will hide a little bit things, and yeah, that's all. Okay, and when you are going to the final stones, I will show that step specifically. So we are cold stone today, and it's, yeah, we're not gonna reach the final stones today. Will be another time, maybe with this time, but maybe tomorrow, I don't know, if I feel I want to make another live, but I will definitely talk about that topic of water management on the final stone, on the finishing stones. So yeah, Instagram forbidden to do live video, so I'm doing there on YouTube. It seems that it's easy, it's cool, it's easy, and it seems that my camera is working actually better than Instagram. So cool. I mean, quality looks a little bit better than Instagram, even the quality of the video. Some people say the audio is not great. I will try to buy a microphone, but I want to be able to plug a microphone and to also plug the power on my telephone, because with a live video, I'm sure I will run out of battery quite pretty fast. So I need to plug the power. Okay. Okay, it looks quite nice. I need to grind a little bit more because I can still see my micro bevel at the edge, and I want to erase that so it's almost no micro bevel. How we call that? Zero grind. We want zero grind. It's better. Yeah, it's better. It's a certain way of cutting, and I like it. Okay, let's keep working. And this is Venev, yeah, 80 grit. And for example, I feel the Venev is good. It's really nice, but it miss a little bit of engagement because I'm working on the hard steel right now, because I'm working on the edge of the knife, and then I can grab any stone, any cold stone, like 400 from Naniwa. I'm not using it too much those days. I can just put a little bit of mud on it, and it will behave just a tad faster on the cold steel. It's less clean, but faster. All right, so almost there, almost there. And you see, when I'm cleaning or looking at the blade, I'm not like rinsing off always, because if you rinse, you get the mud out and you add water, so less abrasive particles in the mix, and it will go slower. So I'm just pushing a little bit the mud to look and just see what I want to look, and it's okay. And this one is for a customer. It's custom order. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Hot steel, it's long. So you can imagine, I'm not grinding much here. I'm just grinding the edge to make it zero grind. And you can see that on Honyaki. You need a lot of patience because, I mean, any mistakes with the belts and you will be working for a few hours. Yeah, few hours. For sure. Hop, I can grab the 400, just add a little bit of mud again, and let's go. Okay, almost there, almost there. I can see there is a little bit more to grind really at the very tip to touch it. So I want to touch it. Almost, almost, almost. And the heel was not pretty thick. It's just that, yeah, it's very slow to grind hot steel. Yes, yes, yes. Focusing on core steel right now, just right now. And I'm working an area which is about 4 or 5 millimeter wide at the heel. 4 millimeter, let's say. And do I apply less finger pressure on coarser stone than on finer stones? Ooh, it's not easy to say. I'm using the good amount of pressure. It depends. It depends. If you're sure you're not doing a mistake and you feel that the stone will react well to big pressure, you know it's okay. It's gonna work really well. Well, yes, you put pressure and you grind strongly. If you feel that the stone behaves better with lighter pressure, it's less clogging, for example. So it will gonna work longer, or it will just cut longer. So you use lighter pressure with the coarse stones, depends. And with the finer stones, let's say with the pre-finisher, I will use quite a good amount of pressure. So I'm sure I'm gonna force the stone to touch the blade and really clean everything up. But with the finest stone, generally I'm not using much pressure. I'm generally letting the stone doing the work. I'm trying, to let it do the work without pressure on it. Okay. What is sure is that if I put too much pressure, I will bend a little bit the stone, and if I the knife, and if I bend a little the knife, it's not gonna make some clean work. What do I look for? Well, for now, for example, it's very easy. It's just that my very edge, there is some big scratches on it. I'm gonna try to show you that. Okay. Just at the very edge. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Maybe you can see that. At the very edge of here. And this, I want it just to touch without lifting the blade. And by experience, I know it will be good. Or I'm just confident in a little bit in me to feel that if I keep on with this gesture, it should be okay. That's it. Yeah. It's still good, but I want it a little bit better. It would be good like that if I lift it. It's okay, but I want it a little bit better. Okay. So now I'm back to the full bevel, and I'm gonna see if it's all right, let's say. And it's all right. It's not too bad. There is still some lower area which I think the stone should touch if I go on. And if I want it that perfect, I need to raise shinogi a little bit at the heel. And that's it. A little bit. Something like that. Let's see. Here I'm just helping the blade to touch shinogi a little bit, so it's not like full natural position from the blade on the stone. It's just a little bit of help to see how it does. And this is 80 grit, so I mean, if it's not perfect, I still have some room to do a little bit better. And it's not really nice perfect. I'm gonna go on a little bit at the heel because I got something that should touch a little bit better here. So let's grind a little bit at the shinogi at the heel. Okay. I need to be very careful now, not to overgrind. I'm at the shinogi almost crossing it, but I don't want to. Okay, nice, nice. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Yes, it's okay. We're gonna change stone. Thanks, Anatoly. So he liked the stream and he asked how many streams like that I will do. Honestly, I'm super happy there are some people. I mean, if I'm doing those streaming and while I'm working, there is like only 2 or 3. It's true that maybe my motivation will go a little bit down, but we are, for example, we are 26, and it's perfect. I mean, if we are thousands, I will I will still like it. But 27 is, yeah, it's still a good number. It means that there will be some interaction, there will be some question, and to me, I'm not doing just YouTube video like, okay, let's show you in 15 minutes how I polish my knives. First, because I don't have the time and the want to really do a clean video, then editing the video and all that. It's a job on itself. Not sure I want to go this direction. So live stream is maybe less good camera settings, maybe less good light, but the good thing is that we can share and interact. We are many people. It's great, and I plan to do, yeah, from time to time. I don't know the reason. It's a little bit a new how you call that? Yeah. Sorry, my English. Yeah, it's a little bit another way of working with these streams, because I was doing some streams quite a while ago, and for maybe 2 years I was doing some like 1 every 2 months or 1 every 3 months and so on. Maybe it will be just like that, 1 every 2 months. Maybe it will be more than that, like 1 every month. I don't know. If I have time and motivation to do some, I will try to have a rhythm. In a way, I know that doing that sort of stream with people and and to make them coming back and having a proper interaction with them, with you all, uh, it would need normally a proper rhythm, like once every week. That would be like incredible, but I'm not sure I want to spend all that time with streaming live, even if it's great the way we can, yeah, interact. But let's say one or two per month, let's say something like that. And I even can't read your name. Maybe Alexander. Oh, it's a Russian name. Sorry, but you're writing in Russian, so I can't read it. If you can write in English, that would be awesome. But I can see your finger up, your thumb up. So thank you, thank you. Okay, let's show the bevel. It's clean. It's quite clean. It's this is water. This is just water. Oh, it's clean. And in the end of the course tone, if you have your light going on your bevel, not doing crazy facets, crazy color, but one plain nice color, it means you have done nice work. Yeah. And is it perfect, that perfect? Again, no. It would need maybe 20, 30 minutes to make it perfect, maybe 1 hour, maybe, I don't know. You know, as good as it is, to reach really perfection, you need a lot of patience. Is it my job to make it perfect? Maybe not. And do I want to reach perfection every time I'm doing a knife on the stone? Maybe not. Honestly, if I'm being honest. For example, I'm not treating a 600 euros knife the same way I would treat a 2,000 euros knife. To me, if it's more expensive, it should not be because of the material. It should not be. It should be because of the material. Like there is Damascus, there is a burl on the handle, there is a more difficult mount for the handle. There will be maybe my Damascus Kurushi, which is a difficult technique, a risky technique to succeed, but everything should be a level up. So my polishing on my most expensive blade will be better, and I will spend more time to make it better. That's it. So right now it's not my finest polishing work, so I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for 95 great job, let's say. And is it there? I think yeah, it looks good. Yes. Martin Huber. Well, I guess he is crazy. Well, I guess he really decided to do it like a full job. So of course he is doing some knives, but I'm sure that he is today accepting that is or half knife maker, half YouTuber, or let's say 2/3 knife maker, 1/3 YouTuber. I don't know how we rate that, but I'm sure he's no more knife maker and doing a little bit of YouTube from time to time. He took a part of his job and he separates some and to have some space to make YouTube. That's it. Why not? And also situation is that I'm not exactly sure, but I think Martin Huber got at least 2 employees. I think at least, and maybe a third one who is doing the camera work and the YouTube stuff for him. Maybe. So yeah, I mean, you can do what you Martin Huber do if you are maybe many people, and I'm alone. So I won't go that way for now, and I don't think I will go there. I'm not well, it's not really what I feel I want to do. So if I can do some live stream like that, teach people a little bit what I'm doing, that's really great. And maybe a very far hand work would be that maybe I will make some some money out of courses like that. I'm not sure there is demand because it's a niche, really. But why not? It would be like about private courses on stone polishing for people who want to improve that and want to really do that sort of stuff. Um, to me, if my way is clean enough and if my teaching is good enough, there should be some people who can be interested, and then I can be paid to do that sort of job. But right now, what I'm looking for is not that. Is like just sharing with you, having more interaction, because I think if I have set my business uh, with all of you, uh, it's because I communicate with you. It's because I'm talking directly with you and say, okay, we're gonna do a random draw to sell my knives because it's the most fair way for everyone. Okay, we're gonna learn about stone polishing so you can understand what I'm doing at home, working my knives, how the way I'm working, and I think that's why I got a good reputation of doing good knives. It's because I'm communicating about it, and of course I can show nice picture and nice videos, but in the end, direct interaction like now, it's something special, and that's why I'm doing it. It's special for all of you because you talk with me directly about what I'm doing and you see what I'm doing, but it's special for me because I can really have some time, and I keep some time not to talk to like one customer in private message, but to talk with a little bit of a group, and it's quite a different communication, and it's more about it will less be about like, oh Milan, I got a crazy idea, I want to make a knife like that, can you do it, or something like that. It will be more like okay Milan, why do you think I don't know, the bevel should have this shape, why are you working like that, how do you get this result and not something else, why you bevels are looking with a shinogi which is not perfectly straight but a little bit wobbly, a little bit compared to other makers which have a straighter shinogi. Are you working less good or less even or something like that? All those questions which are yeah, a little question about work of knife makers, the choice they take to make a knife, because this kind of knife, well, it's a classic. It's kurushi with white bevel. It's made very often in Japan, and it's made even very often in the Western world. And we're gonna see it even more because it's in fashion. So within all the knife will we be built this way with kurushi white bevel, why mine will be a little bit different? Are they a little bit different? Do I want them to be a little bit different? And why I will make this sort of choice about geometry, and what will it affect? Will it affect aesthetic, or will it affect also cutting and use of the knife? Everything like that. So that's why I'm doing those live today. Maybe later I will make some course, and I don't know, maybe private course. I don't know. I got that idea, I think. But uh, I get a message about YouTube. I think 2 hours was the limit, so they start a new live. I don't know. But yeah, it's the end of this live anyway. So it's just final talks. So yeah, for today, it's just about having a special moment with you, direct contact with an audience about how I work and what choice I make. And of course, I could show you the forge, the straightening, the grinding on the machine, the handles, but everything there is a noisy work, so it's difficult to talk with you. With this quiet moment on the stones, it's great time because it's quiet, but it's also where every work I did on the knife before is resume in that moment, because the stone will show everything I did on the blade before. If I did a bad grind, it will show it. If I did a bad forging, it will show. If I've done a nice Damascus, it will show. Everything before is finally here on the stones. That's why I want to show you that. Okay, so it's 2 hour live. We're gonna stop that now. Thanks everyone who stayed, and we will make another live video about maybe next steps. So we have worked on the 80 grit. Sometimes I'm working with the 200 NSK. We didn't today. It looks like sometimes it's between the blade and the stone, and sometimes the veneer will work perfect and just enough, and sometimes I feel it's too slow, it's not doing anything, and I will grab the NSK 200 and it will be a little bit faster actually. So yeah, we didn't use it because finally I think I prefer the VNF because it's harder, but sometimes it's just too slow and I would use the NSK. So maybe next step I would show would be 400 grit Naniwa or 400 grit stone, then 600 grit. This area is very nice because it's like final tuning of the shape of the bevel before doing the progression. And then another step would be like full progression, like 1K, 3K, 5K before naturals. And this is just erasing scratches. I almost don't think about what I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, I just want those scratches to get out of it, because I know the shape is good, so I don't need to think about it. So I will speed up and just clean the scratches and erase everything so as fast as possible. And then I will use the natural stone, and there can be another live streaming about natural stones, or I use them and what response they give me, because generally, because they are harder, finer stones, if you are not great on some area of the bevel, of course they will show you and they will tell you a lot of things, and then you say, okay, next time I will do better. Okay, I'm reading you. Okay, well, super happy you liked it. Can you give some tips to maintain a stable angle while sharpening? From Luigi. Yes, I can give you that straight now, and I got one advice which is good, I think. Okay, so when I'm shaping the knife, the stone is a little bit put up, but when I'm sharpening it's flatter. I'm gonna use this stone, 600 Naniwa diamond. Okay, I'm gonna sharpen this knife, and it will be the last tip before closing the live. Okay, so you have a knife, it's straight, so you check that, because if it's completely bent, you better straighten your knife before anything. Okay, it's straightened, and then you want to be stable to sharpen. Okay, it's not a full truth about sharpening, sorry, I was starting like the full story, but let's just keep about the question, just maintain stable angle. Okay, so 2 tips or 3 tips. Hand grabbing, hand position. Okay, my position will be like that. So you have the 3 finger here, okay, pushing on the palm. You have your index on the spine, and you have your thumb pushing a little bit down here, and it can sometimes be here at the heel, okay? And this claw is very stable and strong. Then you put your blade on the stone and you lift it up just to make your angle, okay? And then with your right hand, you lock it, and then you have your angle. So this, it's not moving. I can move my arm, but when I go back, it's same angle. Okay, so this is locked. I not forbidden to move. I can move the here and here, but the rest is forbidden. Okay, and then I'm gonna move. So I'm gonna move only here and here, nothing else. And I'm gonna put it at 45 angles. Okay, I'm gonna start by the heel because I got used to do that, but you can do from the tip if you prefer. I don't know. Do what you want. And let's go. And so I'm gonna work this way. So I'm very locked here, and I'm not pushing, sorry, I'm not pushing too much perpendicular, because perpendicular, you can have your blade doing this. And this will be a lot of change of angles. So I'm working like this. And this is more stable. So I'm gonna do that. I find my angles. Okay, I lock it. It's locked. Okay, I'm moving on the blade. And I'm reaching the tip. I can hear the tip going down, then a bit, and stop. Stop. You don't go back to the heel, because if you go back to the heel, you can change a little bit your angle. And I have realized, and I've checked with my Googles, and I keep better angle, clean, stable angle this way. So if I didn't did the job enough, it means I don't feel a burr through the length of the knife. A burr would be something which catch a little bit your skin. It is there. It's already there. But let's say it's not. So I will continue to grind. You would say, well, you should maybe grind only the part which is thicker. And why not? Yeah, why not? Why not? It can be an issue doing so. If it's thicker, it means anyway that the blade is not very even. So yeah, you should maybe grind there because there is more material. But you can also change the shape of the knife, because the way you use the knife is not even. You should, in the kitchen, use the knife quite also evenly, because if not, you will have only that spot which is blind anytime you use it, and then you will sharpen only that spot, and then you will have a flat spot here because you just use that spot only. The perfection would be to use the whole length of the knife so you wear the knife evenly. Okay, let's go on. Let's keep on moving. We now doing the other side. So you put your knife again on the stone. This time it's perpendicular because of the handle is in the middle. Again, you put your finger in a way that it's locked. You move, you lift it up to make the angle you like, you want, about 15 degrees, but do whatever you want. And you're locked. You hold this position, and you can move your arm again, but this is locked. And I go back, and I'm on it. I kept the angles. Okay. And now again, my shoulder can move, my kidney, I don't know, my kidney can move, but not my hands. Okay, I was at the heel, I'm now in the middle, and now I'm at the tip. I'm at the very tip, and I go down and stop. And this way, I'm sure I have put one angle consistent and stable through the length of the knife. And if I want to go back, yeah, elbow, sorry, elbow, shoulder, elbow, kidney, sorry. Yeah, so this way I'm sure I'm stable, and I'm sure I'm not changing the angles, and you have more muscle memory going back to your heel, back to your first angle, I think, than moving to the tip and going back to the heel, and maybe I've changed the angle. Yes, Anatoly, so the question is why you don't flip. Maybe you should be a flipper instead of a... There is a question like that in forums. So why I'm not a flipper? Changing hands. to sharpen the left side, because you could do that. And it's a very simple reason. It's not because it would make a better job. I think maybe it should make a better job doing with the other hand. I think it should be making a better job, but I don't do it for one reason, is that I don't sharpen much for, I don't know, for my job. I'm sharpening only my knives I'm selling, and the knife in my kitchen. So it's like about, I don't know, 10 knives per month, not much more. And when my knives are finished and this handle is glued on, the handle is very clean, and I want it very clean. So I'm gonna use my right hand to be very clean and not touch the mud. So I will doing the right side, and I will have some mud on the left hand, and I will change the sides without changing the hand. So this is still dirty, and this is still clean. That's it. I just do it because of that. If not, for better work, maybe I would change hands, but hey, I mean, I still can make a nice edge and nice sharpening this way, so I don't change hands. I polish with different yeah, this was sharpening. When I'm polishing on the stone, there is no handle, and I would polish right side with my right hand holding, and then change hands for the polishing. That's yes, 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 yes. But just for sharpening, it's just only for the end. So in the end, my handle is glue, and I prefer never do. I prefer to always do the sharpening when everything is done. Like I actually do the sharpening after the picture. Like I'm doing the blade, I'm polishing the blade. The blade is perfect, clean polish. The handle is done separately, and it's yeah, it's separately. It's done a little bit before I'm finishing the blade. Then I will glue the handle on the blade. Then I will do the picture. Then I will sell the knife, and once the knife is sold and it's ready to be shipped, then I will sharpen and do the final micro edge. Just well, it's just to make it perfect, perfect, perfect clean. It's already cutting, but I make it perfect clean sharpening, and it's go in the box and it's go to the customer. So I'm sure first the customer will get a knife which is perfectly sharpened and freshly sharpened, and second, I never work with a fresh sharp edge when I'm working with the knife. Like when I glue the knife, okay, it's still super sharp, but it's not like super fresh edge, perfect, clean everything. So when I'm cleaning the glue, if I touch the blade, I still cut myself, but maybe not as bad. Or if I'm manipulating the blade like that, I'm not cutting myself straight away, etc. I had some issues and accident with blade sharp before it should have been. No more. It's already super sharp. So the final one at the last moment. Kevin is asking a question, which is, how do you make a low, wide bevel? Like on this knife, not wedge on dense food. Pam pam, dum 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 dum, dum dum dum. Yes, it's easy. If you don't want a blade to wedge on hard food, dense hard food, like big carrots, big celeriac, big sweet potatoes, you need a shoulder which is not too big. It means that behind this shoulder, which is obvious because we have one angle and another one, a surface and another one, you need that transition not to be too different. It's difficult work to make a nice clean bevel this way, but it will cut better if this surface is as close as possible, let's say, as the kurushi. So in a way, the angle of the knife, even if it's a low wide bevel, the angle of the knife is 1 from spine to edge. This, even if the blade is like 3 millimeter here, it's high enough so the angles will go through dense food. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, it's there may be other solution, but it's the most simple solution. Which transition, Anatoly? Does that transition happen to the forging stage? Which transition? Sorry. Yes. Well, it's prepared during the forging process. Like when I'm forging the blade, I forge the geometry. So I forge the blade to be thinner here, thicker here. And I also try to concentrate and have some imagination, because you can't really check for thickness with a ruler or your caliper when the blade is hot and you forge. It's not really the time, so you need to train your eyes, your feel, the way you look your forge blade, so you can feel that yes, you have reached good thickness. And a way to do it, for example, simply for any maker, is just to go a little bit too much, a little bit too more thinner than you would think, because it will be always thicker than you would think, always. So when I'm forging a blade and I feel it's all right, I feel okay, let's do another heat and let's thin that blade a little bit more. So I'm sure it's a little bit more thin, and then and then it will be better. Yeah, thank you, Krishban. Taper in all directions during forging. You are master of that. A lot of makers are doing that, and I try to do it well. And to be honest, I have changed with the new power hammer, the little power hammer hammering a little bit more precise and faster than before. I'm actually a little bit less tapering than before, because I feel that my heel at shinogi were a little bit too thick on most of my knife, like 1 or 2 years ago, and so I still keep my thickness at the spine, but I'm making like an integral in the idea, but it's different. But well, like here, this line. So this is thick, but from this line, I try to go a little bit faster than I used to do. So in the end, this is a little bit thinner than what I used to do. And so it's a little bit less taper. It's a little bit flatter blade. I still have a differential. Do I have my caliper here? This is a very standard, I would say, just like looking at it. So it should be well a good example. So at shinogi, is my caliper completely fucked? Yeah, it's fucked. Well, anyway. 1.9, okay, and 1.9 is 15 millimeter from the edge. 1.9, and this is 1 millimeter, and this is less wide. It's whoopla. Yeah, 13 millimeter wide. So yeah, it's a little bit less than double. Yeah, a little bit less than double. at the shinogi, and it's good. With the stone, 2 to 1 is, I think, the biggest taper you should have at shinogi. At the spine, it's nice to have more than that. Like I got 5 to 1, but at shinogi 2 to 1 is maybe maximum, because geometrically it would make more problem than solution to have it more than 2 to 1, and even for using the knife and cutting things, it would make also more problem than solution. Okay, that's it. And yeah, well, we learned how to make a nice stable angle. We learned how to make a nice bevel on the kurushi knife, and that's it. We're gonna stop there. Have a great day all, and see you on the next live. I will try to find, if I can find a rhythm. That would be super great. That would be super great if there is a meeting, like I don't know if I can organize that, because I like to have some freedom and make the work whenever I want, but I will try. We'll see that. Okay, have a great day all, and thank you so much for being here and have this little moment together. Goodbye.